McPheron of Penn State's Ag College of Life Sciences. Welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate you being here.
Thanks for speaking with us. Last year, a lot of farmers in the Northeast and Pennsylvania faced a pretty significant issue with the brown mammated stink bug, and you were at the forefront of sort of really getting out there and talking to people and making sure they were, doing what they needed to do. What's facing farmers for Pennsylvania in the Northeast this year? What is sort of the big issue or the big issues besides obviously the drought?
Well, clearly the drought has been on a lot of people's minds across Pennsylvania and across the U.S. It's a sad commentary when you see cornfields and mistake them for pineapple plantations. But the fact is that every year it's something different. Of course, as you said, last year the stink bug doesn't seem to be as big a problem this year, but it still is appearing, and so we've engaged the public actually in helping us do research on that topic by a web interface where they can report occurrences of the stink bug. That's part of a bigger portfolio of what we do of managing pests of all sorts. This year we were concerned with early weather conditions about late blight in our tomatoes and potatoes, and Pennsylvania remains not only an important summertime source of those fresh market tomatoes, but also a real important processing area.
Now, did late blight show up in a lot of places down here in Pennsylvania, or did the weather sort of mitigate that with the drought?
We've seen late blight in a lot of different parts of Pennsylvania early on.
Yeah.
As the weather dried back out, the incidents seemed to drop off a little bit. I've spoken just recently to a couple of our processors here in the state, and they're managing okay.
That's great. Are there any other sort of long-term issues that farmers will be looking at for the coming year that sort of like any trend, especially in pests, that farmers may be facing in the coming year with sort of changing weather patterns?
I think this year we saw a pest emerge that is a bit of a signature for the unpredictability of the weather and the impact that has on farmers. Armyworm was a big problem this year. I remember my grandfather talking about armyworms, but as an entomologist myself, there were decades where we really didn't pay much attention to that. But you start looking at a different temperature regime through the winter. You start looking at the no-till that we've done, which keeps cover on the soil and has helped us with immensely with erosion issues. But that also then adds a place where those armyworms early in the season may lay eggs and establish a population. So one of the things that we're going to be faced with doing on behalf of the production community is really trying to balance out all of these different recommendations. When you look at a problem one piece at a time, you miss the system's complexity that a real farmer actually has to deal with.
Yep. Now, you mentioned earlier the web interface for sort of reporting and interacting on the stink bug. What other sort of initiatives are you working on with Extension and with the ag community towards mitigating some of these pest issues in the coming year?
Well, one of the things that we've done, which took off a couple of years ago, is a system that we call PA Pipe, P-I-P-E, and you can find that on the web. It's really a pest management tool that encompasses the biological models of the pest in the crop, but also the meteorological data, site-specific for people in different regions. So you can actually go to the Extension website and get information that is applicable to your particular part of the state and the conditions that you've been experiencing that will help you make some of those pest management decisions. We've actually partnered with the private sector to develop this. One of the things that we're doing in these days of having to be very mindful of budgets is when we have a good idea, looking for private sector partners to be able to combine the reach of Extension with the job creation and the ability to actually sustain those tools.
That's great. Now, you also mentioned when we were speaking earlier about the celebration for the Morrill and the land-grant universities, and this is the 150th anniversary. How are you guys sort of celebrating that at this year's Ag Progress?
Well, this is the 150th anniversary of the Morrill Act, which started the land-grant university system as we know it. Penn State clearly was already in place prior to that Morrill Act. We became a land-grant university after the fact. We were a state land grant to start. So we have a long history. we're embracing that 150 years. It's especially appropriate at something called Ag Progress Days, because that sesquicentennial really is the signature of a lot of progress. So we'll have the requisite speeches, a little bit of cake cutting tomorrow midday, just to try to draw attention to the fact that this partnership of the federal, state, and local governments with our nation's universities have really literally been the icing on the cake in our ability to feed ourselves.
Well, thank you very much for your time.
It's my pleasure.
So we're here with Bonita Whalen of Kencove Farm and Supplies here at Ag Progress. Bonita, tell us a little bit about Kencove.
We are a wholesale and retail and contractor-based supplier of fencing materials for farm and ranch fencing. We sell everything for high tensile wire and fencing, woven wire, coated wire, rail, post, boards. We build our own post drivers. We do post driver demonstrations here at the show. We're featuring a lot of our product line as well. We have our own manufacturing of electric netting to keep poultry and goats and smaller animals in, also out of gardens. So a lot of any type of fencing supplies that you would need, we can help you with that.
Whereabouts are you folks located?
In Blairsville, Pennsylvania on 22 East.
Great. What are you showing off here at the show for people who are attending? You know, what sort of, you got any new products or anything that you're really trying to highlight here for visitors?
Yes, we do. We have our own post driver that we've manufactured called the Kiwi Post Driver. It's been around for about 25 years. We're offering demonstrations at preset times today and during the show, and also upon request. It's a post driver that has about 120,000 pounds of impact, and a driven post is about 10 times stronger than a handset post. So if you put them in right, the fence will stay up for many, many years.
Great. Any other products or fence lines that you're debuting or just really want to highlight?
Yes, we do. We actually, down at the front of our tent, we have and manufacture our own electric netting. It's unique that it's a very portable system. You can put it around your garden. You step it into the ground, and the electric net is of course electrified. It will allow you to rotate chickens, poultry, goats, sheep, anything like that, and small animals, and move them from place to place, clean up areas, more freedom for your animals, more free range. We actually make that here in Pennsylvania, and we're really proud of that, being a USA-made product. And then we also have down at the end of our tent our 2 solar panels actually running a water pump system. So we carry solar systems for energizers. We also carry them for water pumps that we can rig it together for you and work with water pumping systems and things along that line. We also have our woven wire fences for deer fences, and we're also featuring our vector post driver for the high volume users.
That's great. Now, where can people reach you for more information?
Call our office, 1-800-536-2683. Visit us on our website at www.kencove.com. We have, I think it's 6 full-time salespeople, product specialists answering the phones. So give us a call. We'll be glad to help you any way we can. We can do layouts for you if you bring your drawings in. We can offer fencing advice. We've been in the business for over 30-some years, so we're happy to share with you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.